Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to the Game of Fortune. It's time for the next game of death to begin. Second to last, in fact, on this run, so let's see what happens. I'm assuming that whatever happens, Alphonse needs to come out alive. You'd be surprised how many people in the world would be happy to wish for the death of others. With no remorse either, like stepping on a cockroach. I'd like to think that human life is given more value than that. Oh, I'm sure many consider them worth more than that, but that doesn't mean they still wouldn't do it. You should know better than anyone here about that. Please don't remind me. Well, since you said please, I honour your wishes. What about the rest of you? Do you think you could kill without remorse? Without remorse? That seems to be a big ask. I don't think I could do it. Same here, I'd probably at least feel a little bad. I mean, we did stab her. But what if they deserved it? What if it was a vile human being that tortured, tormented, and tarnished the lives of others? Would you be okay doing it then? You're changing the question on us. It'd be a lot easier to kill someone who we thought would deserve it as opposed to, say, someone innocent. I'm just curious. After all, you might have to kill one of these days. Hesitation could mean death. So really it's a question of whether you die or live with the remorse. I think I'd live with the remorse. Unless it was someone that deserved it, then I'd be fine with it. Ditto what Devon said. Hopefully I don't have to do that. So far, the games that Belle has given us haven't required us to actually kill someone. At least not physically. Except Belle. Well, let's see if luck's on your side this time around. Maybe you won't have to kill anyone at all. Or maybe it'll be a bloodbath. Let's bring out the roulette. It's going to be a bloodbath. Obviously, she just set it up. The shifting sights of the possible game types appeared on the screen. Just have to get through one more roulette. Avoid the team games. Give us something where we can cooperate. Hell, I'll be happy enough if it was just everyone out for themselves. As long as there can be multiple winners. So come on. Come on. Yes! Looks like it'll be another 4-player dilemma game. Seems that some of you are really getting familiar with this type. I'm not complaining. Neither am I. At least, as long as you promise you'll give us a game that'll give us a chance to survive. There's always a chance, no matter how small. Will you be able to live up to it? That's the question. The real question is, what game is it you're going to have for us? Excited to play? Well, let me think something up real quick. Alright, let's have a little fun this time around. Hope you paid attention to those fire safety videos because you're going to play fire drill. Like the kind we have in school? Or in offices. Your home, really any place there could be an intense fire hazard. Pays to be prepared. Have a fire escape plan ready for you and your family. So how exactly is this game going to go then? All about running away from a fire? You'll see. Just enter into the game room and I'll show you what it's all about. See you soon. Belle winked and the screen shut off. Fire drills? Most of the time, those were just us walking out of class when the alarm went off. Hopefully Belle wasn't going to actually have fun running from like a giant drill that's on fire. It'd certainly be a play on words. But the only way we'll find out is going into the game room. Let's move. Alphonse walked into the game room and we were quick to follow behind him. What the... Welcome students to Belle Clover's Academy for Gifted Goldings. Here you'll learn all you need to know about the immense celestial duties and powers that come from being a god. Classes range from resurrection to manipulation of the soul to managing the billions of prayers and thoughts made in your name without going insane. What? Wait, are we really going to school? This has to be a joke. It's no joke. It's a segue because sadly we don't have the time to get you all fit into gods today. So, if not for time, you'd actually mold us into gods? One of you at least. Anyway, let's toss that out and get into why you're really here. We're going to play fire drill. The rules are relatively simple, but please listen up so you don't get confused later on. Fire drill is a game about fire safety, as well as seeing just how bold you are in the face of a potential fiery death. The game will be played in a set of 4 rounds. At the start of each round, you'll be allowed to wander around the school and find a room that you'd like to enter. You'll have around 4 minutes dedicated to this time. Once time's up, you'll have 1 minute to enter into one of the rooms. Once inside, a door will lock behind you, and you'll have to stay inside for a total of 4 minutes. After those 4 minutes pass, you can leave the room. Then the next round starts. We'll continue this cycle for 4 rounds, and then the game will end. So each of the rooms is going to catch fire. Potentially one or many of the rooms will catch fire each round while you're locked inside it. That seems really simple actually. What's the catch? You couldn't tell from the name, Devon. Not all these rooms are perfectly safe, you know. Some of them have fires in them, and locking yourself in a room with a blazing inferno would be bad, wouldn't it? Oh, I see what you mean. So we're supposed to just get lucky and hope we pick the right rooms then? And that's one way to handle it. There's lots of ways to tell if there's a fire in a room after all. Smoke, heat, lights, things like that come to mind. Exactly. Use whatever you think is needed to pick the right room to hunker down in. Though you'll also have another little gift. What would that be? I'm giving you each access to use one of the school's sprinkler systems. Basically, before you enter one of the rooms, you can choose to activate the sprinkler system to douse any fires in them. But you can only use it one time, so be careful. I see, that's considerably generous of you. I know, right? I really am just the sweetest god ever. All you have to do is press the sprinkler button right by the door you want to go in. This is only possible during the 1 minute you have to enter the room you've chosen. Is that enough time to douse the fires within? Totally. This is a super strong sprinkler system, Sonny. Alright, if you say so. That should be about it for basic rules, but let me give you a few more details. First off, no doubling up on rooms. It's one room for one person. I don't want any of you sneaking off to have a hot, passionate 4-minute escapade during my game. 4 minutes is not long enough for an escapade. I don't think anyone had those ideas. Second, once a room has been used, once, it locks up. No one can enter it again. So make sure you enjoy it as much as you can. I bet we'd enjoy it more if you gave us some ingredients for s'mores. Devon, please don't test her. I'm just saying I'd enjoy it more. Last, but certainly not least, if any of the prior rules are broken, those being that you don't enter a room, you don't leave a room, you force your way into a room with another, etc., you'll be granted a swift and merciful death. Figured as much. I really mean it though, you won't feel a thing. It'll be like a blink. There and gone. Really the most painless death that I can offer you. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? Because it's better than being burned to death? Yeah. You've certainly heard that burning to death is one of the most painful ways to go out, yes? If you're lucky, it won't last long at all and your death will be swift. But all the same, the searing pain that crawls across your body, the chemical and physical changes done to your organs can be extremely painful. Not to mention the suffocation from smoke and the chemical irritations that it causes. Truly one of the worst ways to go out. Compared to that, simply dying in a blink with no suffering really is quite merciful, don't you think? I can see where you're going with this. If we make a mistake, at least you'll give us a painless death. Painless deaths are preferred to more painful ones, from what I understand. But you only have to worry about that kind of thing if you think you're going to end up in a horrific firestorm. How exactly are you going to kill us in the event we break the rules? Or are begging for a peaceful death? With these. Bella held out 4 collars. Just got to put these on before we start the game, and then when the time comes, you'll be given a painless death. You won't even feel it. So you're using drugs or a shock or magic, of course. A magic collar? You promise this thing won't screw us over? I'll only activate it if it detects a rule break, so it won't screw you over at all. Guess we'll just have to trust you. Have I ever deceived you before? I mean, probably. Well, you just have to take my word for it. Now, let me put these on you real quick and then we can get started. Belle attached the collars to each of our necks. They didn't actually feel uncomfortable. It was as if they were oddly flexible and I barely noticed mine. Look at all of you. You look so cute with these collars on. I don't really think I'd call these things cute. Nonsense. They give a wonderful little flair to each of you. I think when this game is done, you should keep them on. Thanks but no thanks. Think it over and we'll revisit it once the game is done. But for now, you're all set and ready to go for the game. So good luck, good fortune, and try not to get burned. The game begins now. Belle vanished and we were free to roam around. Alphonse walked up to the door right in front of us. Well, I call dibs on this one. Why that one? It's the first one I saw. I guess that works as good as any other kind of door then. I'm gonna go find my own then. There should be another 15 rooms to pick from. Well, guess they're off then. Clyde, let's look around for some good rooms then. Shouldn't be too hard, right? That depends. It's kind of hard to tell what's inside each of these rooms from just the looks. Though I guess if we can smell out smoke or something, that'd be a sign that something's burning. I got a good nose for that. Smelling out burning food is critical for a good cook. Isn't it already burned at that point? Well, it's about mitigation. Also, you can usually check by sight. Fair enough. Let's look around then. Devon and I started wandering around some of the school halls looking for more classrooms. Most of them looked plain, but occasionally we'd come across one that had smoke billowing out from the top of it. You could even see dancing fires from within the window of the classroom. Sheesh, I wouldn't want to be caught dead in there. Chances are you would be if you entered it. Right, let's hope there aren't too many of these around. It's possible that Belle only put a few of them out there that we'd fight for the safer rooms. Now, it's hard to tell without scouting out the entire school. But if I had to guess, there's probably around 12 or so rooms that are mostly safe and then 4 that lead to death if we pick wrong. That gives us a pretty good chance. Guess it's not surprising if Belle wanted to give us a 1 in 4 chance of dying in flames. Right. But as long as we use the sprinkler system correctly, then we could all survive in theory. True, well, maybe we should use it here then. I mean, if we cut down on one of the deadly rooms, that makes things easier for all of us, right? No, we should only use it if we have to. Think about it. There's a chance the others will pick all the safe rooms and you'll be forced to enter another inferno of death. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. But you'd save me, right? You'd use your charge of the sprinkler system to douse the flames? I could ask you the same thing. Of course I would. I'd be happy to brave hell and back for you. Well, you got my answer too. But let's try and avoid that situation, okay? Right. Anyway, I think there are some safer rooms up ahead, so let's stick with those. Agreed. We found 2 rooms that seemed to be safe, at least from an outside inspection. We tapped the door handles to see if they were hot and gave a quick look through the window. They seemed to be safe. We split up and waited for the timer to go down. This would be a good start. I just have to get through 4 rounds of this. Gotta be tactical. Knowing when to use the sprinkler system is key here. Okay students, it's time for class. Those who are tardy know what happens to them. I heard the door unlock. Guess it was time to enter into the rooms. I was confident that this was a safe enough room, so I grabbed the handle and walked inside. As soon as I entered the door closed swiftly behind me and locked itself. It looks smoky in here. Not that it mattered, there wasn't a single speck of flame in the room. But damn, there was a lot of burn damage. The walls had been charred and there was still a light layer of smoke floating up at the ceiling. Well, this is a bad room to be in. Why the fuck are we here? Had the room been burned before, or was this what Belle thought a classroom looked like? Well, as long as I'm not dying from flames, this is fine. I sat down at one of the seats and tried to calm myself down. The others are probably going through something like this themselves. Though I couldn't be sure. Maybe some of them had entered scorching hot rooms. I could only hope that Devon and Alphonse are okay. I guess Grant too. Not like I wanted him to die, but seemed like that big guy had some baggage I never would have expected. But he's a survivor. He made it through this place 8 years ago, so maybe he knows the clue to getting out of here that doesn't involve wishes. I guess I might be able to ask him while he's here. He seemed reluctant to talk about his past before, but maybe he'll open up as long as I'm not too pushy about it like Alphonse was. After all, I'm just a guy trying to survive this place. That should be enough for anyone, right? And that's it, class. Please enjoy your 4-minute break. I heard the door unlock and it quickly swung open, as if it were yelling at me to get out. I hopped out of the chair and walked out into the hallway. After I exited the room, the door closed and locked itself behind me. The handle even turned bright red. Guess that's Belle's way of making sure no one entered it once it was used. I looked down to see Devon wasn't too far off and was cheerfully walking over toward me. Hey there, hot stuff. Don't be funny. Oh, it's just one little joke. But really, that was a pretty good start, right? Yeah, I mean, we did check for rooms that were safe. It'd be pretty bad if we ended up torched after going through all those cautionary routes. Right, speaking of, we should start looking for other rooms to use before someone else claims them, right? I guess we should. Is there a reason not to? I was kind of thinking, Grant played the Game of Fourtune 8 years ago, right? Yeah. I was going to ask him if he knew how to survive this place. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Don't know why I didn't think about that. He seems like the kind of guy that might be more open to answering questions than most. Still, you should at least find a room that you're comfortable taking before that. You know, in case you don't find Grant. Better to stay alive than stay informed and be dead. Excuse me. I'll be safe, don't worry. Good. If I find your charred corpse somewhere, I'll make fun of how ashy your skin is. You're horrible. Devon gave me a fist bump and then started walking down the hall, looking for another door. I did the same, but also kept an eye out for Grant. The school was like a maze, so I wasn't sure if I doubled up on some familiar paths or not, but I was hoping I'd find him sooner rather than later. I did pass by a couple of rooms, but they all had smoke pouring out from the top. I'm sure that I could find something better. Luckily, it didn't take me long to spot Grant after a minute of searching, in front of a room that had smoke billowing out from the top. Grant? Clyde, you looking around for another room? Yeah, well, and you. Me? What do you need me for? You should really be looking for a room you want to stay in, or have you found one already? I passed by a few already. If I need to, I can scramble back to them. It's like musical chairs, except, you know, burning to death. I just need to ask you a quick question. Sure, I don't mind. You said you played in the Game of Fourtune 8 years ago, right? I did say that. Then you know how to survive. Alphonse didn't tell you? I assumed that since he told you about me, that he'd know about how the Game of Fourtune worked. Nothing about how to survive as a group. Oh, well. The answer is actually pretty simple. You just have to survive. Okay, I'm being serious. So am I. It's actually really easy to understand. If you win the Game of Fortune, You get all the closer to being able to win as a group. In fact, you probably understand everything you need to if you win this game. Well, maybe you will, maybe you won't. You're not making any sense. How does winning ensure that all of us survive? Because every single one of them obviously has to win or survive in one route, and then we all get to win? I'd be the only survivor, or are you saying that by winning I'd just be able to wish everyone back to life? No, it doesn't quite work like that. Then how does it work? I can't tell you the full details. Not yet. What? Why not? The hell? Time for class, students. Make your way over there or you'll be in deep trouble. Like I said, if you survive to the end, it'll make sense. No need to worry about it too much. Damn it! I couldn't waste time trying to pry information out of him. I had to get back to the one of the rooms that I'd found. I was hoping that I would find a door that wasn't spewing out smoke, but they all seemed to be. What the hell's with that? There should be at least one door that was obviously the safest. Or was that just an assumption on my part? Bell never specified how many rooms had fires, smoke, or otherwise. It's possible we just got lucky earlier and found safe ones, or maybe Bell's changing what's in each room after each round. Are they all on fire now? Is it just smoke? A mix? Just what is their plan here? I arrived at one of the doors I found earlier and gave the handle a light tap. It wasn't blazing hot, but it was warm, and the amount of smoke coming through wasn't anything to scoff at either. My eye turned to the sprinkler button right by the wall by the door. I could use this now and at least ensure that there was no fire inside it. But what the hell would I do after that? At the same time, keeping a use of the sprinkler system is kind of pointless if I'm dead. Find a better fucking room, stupid. You should have been doing that instead of talking to the dude. Save here. Save it for later. No, this is just smoke. I can't see any flames in there. If there are any, maybe I'll keep away from them. It's possible that I'll need to save the sprinkler for another room later. I just hope that I made the right choice, knowing that I confidently stepped into the room. Oh, we're fucked. Yikes, there's a fire in here. I didn't have time to run back out of the room as the door closed behind me. I ran to the other side of the room, looking around for something to keep the flames at bay. The sinks in the room wouldn't turn on. So much for fire safety. But it was obvious there wasn't anything in here to smother or kill the flames with. I mean, it's a small fire. If we're not in here too long, we'll be fine. Though it seemed they were mostly contained to burning on top of the front two desks. I was a little worried about that the flames might spread over the next 4 minutes, or they'd eat up all the air in the room. I just had to hold out and hope that things wouldn't get worse. I moved some of the desks around to make a makeshift barrier in case there was a sudden explosion of heat and flames, and even moved some of the books away from the creeping flames. Then I kept myself low to the ground to avoid the smoke. I just had to survive. I counted each minute, taking deep but slow breaths, watching the fire to see if it would jump or ignite somewhere else. Time ticked and I started to feel sweat rolling down my face, not from the heat, but just from the anxiety of watching the fire and expecting something to happen. Something. But nothing happened. It just slowly burned on the desk and spewed out smoke. And eventually... That's it for class. Enjoy your time. Don't be late for the next lesson either. That was the end of that. The door opened and I didn't waste time rushing out. Let's find a fucking door immediately. I took a few heavy breaths of clean air before wiping my face. It wasn't even that big a fire, but still, I made it out with my sprinkler still intact. So clearly I can do this. Looks like he made it through. Alphonse exited out of a nearby room and wiped his forehead. Yeah, 2 down, 2 more to go. That's the spirit. Though I hope you're able to muster up the courage to get through the next day. What makes you say that? Just a hunch. If I had to guess, Bell amping up the pressure on each room regardless of whether we use them or not. I'm sure you noticed, right? Couldn't find any room that wasn't pouring out smoke? Yeah, it was odd. Made me think that maybe all the rooms the first time around weren't dangerous, and this time they made them look a bit scarier. So what, you think maybe we need to hold on to our sprinkler uses until the end? He tapped on his head and then looked back at the door that he just walked through. I'd say do whatever makes you feel the most confident on your odds of survival. That's what I think is key for winning this game. You think so? Just a hunch, like I said. I could be completely wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna go look for another room. Whether or not Grant and Devon survived, there should be 8 other rooms to use. Well, I'm hoping they're alive. I don't want Devon to be dead, or I need answers from Grant. Answers from Grant? On how to survive this place. That's all I've been trying to do. The games haven't been horrible, but it'd be pointless how far we go if Devon and I can't get out of this place alive together. You really do care a lot for one another. Hasn't that been obvious from the start? It has, but hearing it, seeing it, and believing it are different things. Good to know you two are so devoted. That we are. Devon showed up and flashed us a peace sign. I couldn't very well go kicking the bucket while Clyde still needs me. That's the only thing keeping you around? Who's to say? If I die and you're not there, then who am I going to make bad jokes to? The billions of other lives that have been gone since humans existed? But they're not you. Well, I'm going to go and look for another room. I advise you two to do the same. Will do. See you, Al. You're extremely chipper despite everything. What can I say? I've been feeling good. How'd it go with Grant, by the way? Did you get any information out of him? No, I didn't get a damn thing. Really? Not even like a hint or something? All he said was that we needed to win. Well, duh, of course we have to win. If we don't win, then that means we've all died. Though... Thought of something? Not really. My head just hurts a little. Feels like I'm on the verge of remembering something important. Did you remember it? Nope, it's gone. Sorry. Oh well, guess it can't be helped. Anyway, we should start looking around for another room to stay in. Yes, priority number 1. Right, I passed one on the way up here actually. It wasn't pretty. How so? It's better if you see it yourself. That bad? Well... Devon brought me over to another door and I could see smoke billowing out the top and bottom of the door. The window was occluded by the smoke, but I could still see bright orange and red lights blinking through the smoke. So either a raging fire was going on behind the smoke, or there was a really amazing laser light show going on in there. Yeah, I can see how this would be pretty bad. I don't want to have to go through it, but we might not have a choice. Well, let's look around a bit first before committing to anything. Yeah. We gave the area of the school a quick search, but all the other doors were either locked or had heavy smoke and flashing red lights flowing through them all as well. Crap, it's like Alphonse said. Belle's upping the stakes each and every round. Then all the free rooms are going to be like this? Probably. Did you use your sprinkler set already? No, I saved mine. I know that sometimes you can have tons of smoke without an intense fire, so I figured it was maybe just a trick. What about you? I've still got mine. Well, if I was you, I'd certainly use it now. It looks horrible in there. True, but then what do we do in the final round? I don't know. If it's worse than this, then maybe it's fine to hold on to it. But if you die on this round, what's the use in keeping it? It's like those people who don't use their items on the boss before the final boss. Well, there's actually merit in that kind of sense. Hoarders. Anyway, whatever you do, just make sure you survive. That's all that matters, okay? I understand, don't worry. I'm not going to get myself killed. Good. I know I said I'd be able to handle it if you died, but I'd still probably cry and be in all sorts of pain knowing that you got fried. And you wouldn't want me to cry, would you? No, of course not. Good, then. Make the best play you can think of. I'll be waiting for you afterwards. Devon walked off and I was left standing at the door as if it were the gates to hell. Attention students, it's time for you to get to class. I know you're getting antsy for the end of the day, but do try to pay attention. And for those of you thinking of skipping class, know the punishment is severe. Does she just enjoy role-playing as a teacher? Oh well, time to make a decision. For this door I'm going to save again. And I am one of those people that never uses items in video games, so enter it boldly. I won't be afraid. I'll play this smart. All I have to do is survive. Find some safe spot in all this fire and smoke. Huddle down low and avoid most of the damage. I can do this. 3, 2, 1. I went to grab the handle and swing it open. It's that bad. I coughed and collapsed right to the ground after inhaling a cloud of smoke. God, that was so stupid. I knew I was supposed to go down to the ground, but my body reacted before I could rationalize it. Good thing was that the room wasn't ungodly hot. In fact, it was really only a bit warm, and after I wiped my eyes a few times, I was able to see what was inside. The room was a hazy mess of smoke and charred debris, but the fire itself wasn't really that bad. It was burning fiercely, sure, but the desk seemed to be feeding it enough to make it... didn't seem to be feeding enough to make it a full-blown inferno. If anything, it was just making this horrible dark smoke. Which, mind you, I was still staying low to the ground, just so I didn't end up suffocating on it. But otherwise, I was sure that if I was careful, I could survive this easily. What was the point of the display then? Is it just smoke and mirrors, illusions, tricks by bells to make us afraid of what's here? I mean, from the outside, the stuff looks really bad. I can see how it would scare the life out of anyone. But once you're in, it's not really that bad. I wonder if that's the point. Maybe it's symbolic. Terrifying spectacles meant to lower our spirit. But once we're in, it's not scary at all. Dangerous, sure, but manageable. Or maybe I'm just losing it. Either way, I'm not complaining. If it meant I got to survive, then I'd take whatever mercy that Belle would give me. Even if her idea of mercy was filling a classroom with horrible black smoke and a somewhat harmless fire. I just hoped that the timer would pass before the smoke completely filled the room and killed me through suffocation. Thankfully. That's it for the third period. Only one more to go. Please be careful. Some people tend to get excited toward the end of the day. I quickly hurried out of the room, gasping for fresh air that wasn't poisoned with smoke. That means we're guaranteed to survive now, because we've still got our sprinkler. So we can just sprinkle the last one and we're done. Seems that everything is normal out here. One more round. Just have to survive one more round. Speaking of, better make sure Devon's doing okay. I walked around to where I last remembered finding Devon. Yo, Devon! I called out to her, but she didn't respond. Devon? I didn't remember exactly what room she was in, but all the ones nearby had been locked up already. Devon, you around anywhere? I called out to her again, but I still didn't get a response. In fact, it was dead silent. Nothing from Alphonse or Grant either. It's not possible they all died, was it? No, it couldn't be. It just wasn't any way that was possible. Panic started to well in me as I sprinted down the halls. I wanted proof that someone was alive, that anyone was alive. Especially Devon. Devon, come on, answer me. Tell me you're okay. Still no reply. Were they on another part of the school or some other level I didn't know of? Where were they? Devon, where the heck are... Calm down, will you? I'm right here. As I rounded the corner, I saw Alphonse and Devon standing by a door. My fear quickly fizzled as I saw that they were fine. Thank goodness. Did you really think that I fried up in one of those rooms? You weren't where I remembered you being. So what was I supposed to think? I guess you have a point. Why'd you even leave anyway? Oh, well... She hesitated and looked down the hall. Just went to search around, that's all. Oh, for a room. Did you find any? Well, I found this one, but I'll let Alphonse take it. And it's appreciated. Huh? You're giving it up? Why? Well, it's just for the best, that's all. Best for Alphonse, sure, but it's not best for you. That's... She bit her lip and shook her head. Look, I have my reasons. And it's going to be fine. Alphonse, do you need me to activate the sprinkler? You're offering? Yeah, I still got mine. Devon, what are you doing? If you still got a charge left, save it for yourself. It's fine, I don't need it. What do you mean you don't need it? Don't you want to live? Of course I want to live, it's just... I think that I get it. You do? I think so. All the same, there's no need for you to waste that thing on me. Why not? You're just trying to be cool and walking into a blazing room like it's normal? Because it's not cool, it's stupid. It's because it's not necessary. If I can't handle something like this, then I'm never going to be able to win. All these games are tests of our willpower, our strength, our intellect. All I see before me is a room full of smoke and fire. If that was enough to make me cower and give up, then I'd be doomed. I have the courage to face what's to come. Whether it's fire, whether it's death, whether it's life. I've chosen to go forward and that's all I can do. Okay, cool speech and all, but you really still want to do it this way? Yep. Leave me be and I'll handle this on my own. Fine, gives you some time to search around with Clyde then. Yeah, we gotta find another room for us to stay in. She sounds so non-committal to the idea. What's gotten into her? Well, good luck. Yeah, and good fortune and all that. Let's go. Right. So she remembered then. We started walking off down the halls and Devon was unusually quiet and constantly passing me glances rather than looking around for an open room. I wanted to ask if something was wrong, but I didn't know what words to ask. Did something happen in the room that she was sheltered in? Did I say something wrong? Is there some other issue that I'm not noticing? Before I could muster the courage to ask, she spoke up first. You suck. What? Where's this coming from? You really don't remember anything, do you? Am I supposed to? Yes, you are. We've been through this many times by now. Why the hell does your memory suck so damn much? This isn't the first time I've recalled way earlier than you. You're smarter than this. Why is your memory so bad? I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. She sighed and dragged her hand down her face in frustration. That hurts, you know. Going through this alone, knowing and remembering things alone, not being able to talk and share experiences that we've each gone through, makes me feel alien, like I'm somehow the odd one out. I'd hoped that you'd recall something, but this stupid memory business is so damn tricky until you get to the end. But it seems that I'm alone again. Well, not really alone, but out of everyone here, you're the only person I wish I could remember things with. And it hurts worse than being unaware and scared for your life. At least in the manic panic of being unaware, you can just go through these games chasing survival. Devon, what are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about. You're going to start thinking that I'm crazy. And I don't have the time to explain to you what's going on. I'm tired, Clyde. I just want all this to be over with. I mean, I am too. I want this mess to be done with as well. You don't get it. You'll eventually. Maybe not this time around, but you'll understand. That wave of fatigue, that realization that this isn't the first time, the pain and dread of wondering. Is this it? Will we be done with the games after this loop? I just want out. I just want out of here. When I was in that room and had that blast of heat and fire hit my face, I remembered when it happened to you. I remember when you were cooked with dragonfire. I remember killing. I remember dying. I remember just everything hitting me all at once. Probably all happened because of that Veronica talk reminding me of when I was tailing around with Grant. Wait, you remember what happened back then too? I must have said something. What did I say that got you to remember? Shit. I can't remember all these damn loops, but I can't remember I can remember all these damn loops, but I can't remember a few fucking words? Hey, calm down. Look, if you want to explain things to me, you can. But first we gotta find you a room. There's no point in that. What do you mean by... I mean, it doesn't matter if I live or die here. Frankly, it'd be easier if I just died here peacefully. Honestly, Belle's giving us a pretty fair deal. At least then I won't have to participate in whatever mad game Belle's got in mind for a finale. And I can go back to forgetting. Maybe when I wake up, it'll all be over for real. Last I remember, Alphonse hasn't won yet, so... What's gotten into you? Your life matters, why wouldn't it? Devon sighed and just shook her head. As long as Alphonse wins, I don't care. I just want this to end. Sadly, I know I'm not talking sense. I must seem out of it right now. Just trust me that I'm still sane, okay? I'm just tired. I just had to take her word for it. She didn't seem insane, and she said that she could explain things, that there just wasn't enough time. All the more reason for her to stay alive. After a few seconds of silent searching, we came across Grant, who was lounging in front of a door. Alright, we need to wrap this one up here because we're out of time for today. But, so this is Alphonse's turn to win the game before the next loop. Everyone needs to win. This is my guess. Everyone needs to win at least once so that this whole thing can end. And I'm guessing that everybody gets a wish in the end, as long as we get through it, you know? Alright, well, we'll see how this game turns out. Obviously, Alphonse needs to get to the other side, and one of us that I'm controlling needs to get to the other side as well, I suppose, but that's about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, Bruce.